Hello everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and today I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on why I feel the David Ayers Suicide Squad cut should be released, as it's been a very strong talking point over the last few weeks, with lots of unseen images being posted on Twitter and social media of scenes that were intended to be in the movie. And David Ayers has gone on record many times saying that his Suicide Squad cut of the movie was vastly different to the one that was released on the big screen. And I've seen a few images with Deadshot and Harley Quinn sharing a kiss. I've seen a deleted scene involving Ben Affleck's Batman mentioning about he's going to take something away from the Joker. So obviously, there's been some rumblings of a possibility of this cut of the Suicide Squad possibly seeing the light of day. Now, the Suicide Squad movie was released in 2016, and for me, it was kind of a big deal because, first of all, we got to see some live action debuts of certain DC characters: Killer Croc, El Diablo, Enchantress, and of course Harley Quinn, who was played superbly by Margot Robbie. And for the most part, I thought Suicide Squad was very enjoyable. Although at the time I did like it, but I still had a lot of issues with it. But for me, it remains a very special DCEU movie for a lot of reasons. First of all, obviously, I got to see it while I was on holiday in the Philippines with a very special person. And also, I got to see certain things that I always wanted to see on the big screen in a DC movie. And over the course of now 7 years since I saw the first Suicide Squad movie, I have come to have a newfound respect and appreciation for this movie. And for those of you who remember, me and Rex the Boss 11 did a long review on this movie. So, highly recommend you check that out and listen to my thoughts and his thoughts as well. But it was far from perfect because although it was very watchable and highly enjoyable, as I said, there were still a few issues I had with this movie, mostly with Jared Leto's portrayal of the Joker. Now, nothing against Jared Leto as an actor, he is fantastic, but I felt he was the victim of bad writing. And he's gone on record to say that he shot a lot of footage with Margot Robbie, with the Joker and Harley Quinn, but unfortunately, his screen time was condensed down. So instead of having a much bigger role that he was supposed to have originally, he was more or less relegated to cameo status. So Jared Leto's Joker had a total of maybe 4 or 5 scenes. A couple of them were flashbacks, but I would say in total he had probably around 5 scenes, and maybe six, probably around 5 to 6. I'm going to probably say he's had about probably 6 scenes. And it is a shame, really, because the Joker, how he was written in the first Suicide Squad movie, he was written as kind of like a lovesick fool. And we all know that the real Joker doesn't give a crap about Harley Quinn. He's pretty much using her as a hench girl and, stuff like that. So the film we got pretty much showed that the Joker and Harley Quinn is all sunshine and bunnies. But from what I've read, the David Ayers cut of the Suicide Squad movie, we were supposed to be getting a much darker, violent, and more animalistic approach for the Joker, and it would have highlighted the abusive nature of the Joker and Harley Quinn's relationship. And from what I read, also, Ben Affleck's Batman was supposed to have a much bigger role in this movie. So the Joker was supposed to be the main villain, Enchantress would have been, I think, from what I read, something like a second villain, and she would have helped release Steppenwolf onto Earth, which would have set up the Justice League. So there's a lot of things we were supposed to get in this movie, but we didn't get. So it is a shame. But I was talking to a friend about this the other day, and he pretty much said to me that DC keep on doing this. Every time their films don't do as well, they turn around and say, well, we've got this version of the movie. This was the one you were supposed to get, as their way of saying, we messed up. I will agree that it is getting very tiresome, constantly getting director's cuts for the sake of it. But this Suicide Squad movie, it was on the comedic side of things. There were a lot of songs and things like that. And as I said, it was very enjoyable for the most part of the movie, but it kind of felt a bit tame. Now, the David Ayers cut of the Suicide Squad movie is much longer, from what I read, a lot more violence, a lot more darker, less on the comedic side of things. And in all honesty, if they wanted to release this cut of the movie, I say do it because the DCEU is pretty much dead. There's not going to be a follow up to this. James Gunn's going full speed ahead with his DC cinematic universe. We're getting Blue Beetle. We've already got Superman and Lois Lane cast for the upcoming Superman Legacy movie. So he's going full speed ahead. So with this DCEU property possibly getting released, I think they should do it and stick it on the HBO Max. You know, like they did with Zack Snyder's Justice League cut a couple of years ago. I think they should do that because the Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League showed everyone not only this was the movie we were supposed to be getting. Yes, it was 4 hours long, very, very long, but it was worth it. And make some money out of that because, like I said, there's not going to be a sequel or a follow up. You've got nothing to lose. The fans want to see it. I wouldn't mind seeing it. If there's a good story to tell, bring it on. And, you know, it would be very interesting to see what it was supposed to be like. What would the original Suicide Squad have been like? Would the DCEU have turned out differently? Who knows, really? But I think I would definitely like to see it. I have always gone on record to say that the Suicide Squad movie we should have got is something like Batman Assault on Arkham. I have always said that that's the movie we should have got for the DCEU. Batman, Amanda Waller, the Suicide Squad, the Joker and Harley Quinn, all in the middle, all at each other's throats. That sounds like a hell of a movie to me. And I definitely would have watched the hell out of that if that was what we would have gotten for the big screen. But in all honesty, we'll just have to wait and see, really. David Ayers has claimed that this cut of the movie does exist. Will it see the light of day? Will it be given the green light? Who knows, really, but we'll just have to see, really. But the buzz is quite strong. I know there are quite a few people who do want to see this movie. I'm one of them, so I wouldn't say no to this. And I think it could be a lot of fun. As I said to another friend, he said to me that if the story's good and it's fun, I'll watch it. Same here. And, you know, I've got an extended version of this movie on Blu ray. It is an extended version, but there were just a few extra scenes. You know, nothing to go mental over, but a completely different movie. I would definitely eat that up big time. I think that's something that could definitely work. And there would be no point releasing on the cinema because it's years too late. Release it on the HBO Max. People will pay to watch it just like they did for Zack Snyder's Justice League and go from there, really. And, you know, we were also, from what I've read, supposed to get a much more in depth look into El Diablo's origin story, which I thought he was one of the highlights of the movie. Aside from Deadshot and Harley Quinn, I thought he was definitely one of the standouts of this movie. And apparently, he was supposed to live. That's what I read. He was supposed to live. He wasn't supposed to get killed off. at the end. He was supposed to live. And I think I read somewhere that Batman and Killer Croc, they were supposed to have a little tuffle in the sewers. So many different things cut out, but hopefully we'll get to see David Ayers' Suicide Squad cut released one day. And if we do, put it on for HBO Max, because HBO Max have proved in the past that they can get the job done, and their track record speaks for itself. So, fingers crossed. Hopefully, we'll get to see it. I personally would like to, just out of curiosity. And I did enjoy the Suicide Squad movie we did get, but at the same time, I would have liked to have seen the original, because, it is very interesting to see things like that. So that's going to be it from me. I'm going to wrap this up now. How would you feel about seeing the David Ayers cut of the Suicide Squad? Would you like to see it? Do you think it should be released on the HBO Max? And do you think it could do well? Do you think a lot of people would like to see it? Are you interested in seeing the unreleased footage of Jared Leto's Joker and Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn? Would you like to see Ben Affleck's Batman have a bigger role? Would you like to see the scenes that we didn't get with him? And also, how long do you think the movie is? Do you think it is a 4 hour plus long movie like Zack Snyder's Justice League? Or are you not bothered about seeing it? Or do you think they should just not release it at all? You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below. And I will see all of you next time. So until then, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.